it's fun. When people come in and give me hugs, 30 people in one day, and it's amazing. I've made new friends, they're family. We have such an eclectic, diverse clientele base. There's a million stories.
From the Trader Joe's mothership in Monrovia, California,
let's go inside Trader Joe's.
Welcome to episode 4 of a 5-part series that takes you inside Trader Joe's. I'm Tara Miller.
And I'm Matt Sloan. Later in episode 4, we'll taste some wine, and we'll also visit Napa Valley, California, where we search for more great wines and great values. But first, we'll explain one of the 7 values that guides Trader Joe's. It says, the store is our brand.
And I'm really excited for you to meet some of the customers and crew members in our stores. They really are some of the nicest people you could ever meet.
And if you've ever thought about applying to work at a Trader Joe's, listen closely for some tips on how to ace the interview.
I'm John Baslone, president of stores for Trader Joe's. I don't really use the title too much, but yeah, that's it.
But we're going to use it here.
The store is our brand.
The store is our brand.
The store is our brand. People can't understand, why aren't you selling products online? How come you don't just sell wholesale to China? They want a bunch of your products. Why don't you just send truckloads and shiploads of products to other countries and make a bunch of money? It's like, well, because that's not what Trader Joe's is. For us, the store is our brand, and our products work the best when they're sold as part of this overall customer experience within the store. And so we're not ready to give that up. For us, the brand is too important, and the store is our brand.
More than 80% of the products we sell at Trader Joe's are private label. Keeping things in our label as opposed to the brand name label or a supplier's label helps us keep our costs low.
We don't collect slotting fees. We don't have the producers of the stuff that we sell pay for privileged space or any space in our stores.
And that happens everywhere else, by the way.
Totally normal grocery store stuff. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and yet there it is. There aren't a bunch of flat screen TVs and monitors and electronic signs, and why don't we have those things in our stores?
That's not who we are.
Mitch Heeger, he started out as a part-time box boy. And now he's EVP of Marketing and Merchandising.
When you walk into a store that has a big, screen there and you can see yourself on camera, the immediate feeling is someone's watching me and they must be watching me for a reason.
And just to be clear, we are not spying on you. We don't have access to your data at Trader Joe's because we don't have any data on you. Do you like cats? Do you buy a lot of chocolate bars, a lot of Belgian chocolate bars? We don't know that about you. We wouldn't share that information with someone if we had it, but we don't have it. That was weird. It's still weird.
No, it's kind of funny.
We don't know what we don't know. That's a problem.
God, we have so many great products and they're so unique, and people come to our stores for that product, but what they really get excited about and what they write in about, a lot of times is the interaction they have with the crew. A 93-year-old man wrote in about he got to the check stand and they surprised him. It was his birthday and they surprised him with a cake. Happy birthday! Grocery stores just don't do that.
I don't think anybody does
But
that.
we do, and it's not something that we tell our crew to do. It's just something that we just do.
Oh, you put it there. Okay. Thank you.
My name's Ray. I am purchasing level 5 colored bananas. They have green tips, almost ripe, but not too ripe. I like to ripen them myself, and we're gonna be making banana bread. There's about 100 bananas in there. And I spoke to Josh, a sales employee, and I called him every day within the past 3 days. And he gave me an update on how the bananas are looking, when to come by, when to pick them up. So I really appreciate him. Thank you, Josh. Oh, he said, ask for me because I don't want anyone else to think you're crazy. So I appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Rosalio Medina. Been with the company 23 years.
What's the part of being a Trader Joe's captain that you enjoy the most?
Talking to people. It's we're in the people business. We sell groceries, but we're in the people business. The absolute best part is I get to come to work every day and talk to people and smile and meet new people, and I'm really lucky. I'm really blessed.
Ever wonder what it's like to interview for a job at Trader Joe's?
When we do interviews, I'll say, so what questions do you have for me? And they say, well, what do I not know coming in? I said, well, the work part, we could train you to do. That's easy. But it's all about the people, just your ability to talk to people. We've got interview questionnaires, and I'll start with that. And then I tend to get off base a little bit. One of the best questions is, so what do you like to do in your off time? And then you'll see that passion. And then from there, you could talk about food and see how that works out.
You're not just trying to find someone who can fill a slot on your crew roster. You're interviewing a person to get to know a person, because you're hiring a person, not a widget. Do you want to start, Tina? Like, just a little bit of your story as it relates to Trader Joe's. Like, what brought you here, and how long have you been here, and why have you stayed?
Okay. I've been with Trader Joe's for probably 10 years. I have worked many jobs since I was 15. And I see my other friends that don't work for the company and the things they complain about, or how they don't have friends at work. And and they don't get to drink wine at work or eat cheese. And that's when I was like, yeah, I fit in, right? Yeah. Fit right in.
Same here. I worked for the company 12 years. Maybe like a couple of months into me starting here, they had me face paint. I'm artistic, somewhat. And so for them to just ask me, why don't you start face painting some of these kids? And I was like, wow, I could totally dig this. That's what helps, the fact that we could be ourselves. So that translates with our energy, with the people, with our customers.
I could talk like myself. I could just be myself. I've never, ever felt out of place.
Mrs. Schwartz was a great customer of ours in Sherman Oaks.
Dan Bain is chairman and CEO, but he still goes to Trader Joe's stores and helps out, just like any other crew member.
That day, I was bagging groceries, and my name tag, which usually says crew member on it, but that day my name tag said bagger first class. And I was standing there bagging groceries with about a 20-year-old clerk who was running the cash register. And I still remember Mrs. Schwartz coming up to the front of the line, and she starts having her items scanned by the guy. And she looks at my name tag, and she reads aloud, bagger first class. I said, yes, ma'am. And she said, do you mind if I ask you a personal question? No, ma'am. She said, how old are you? I said, I'm 65. And she said, don't you aspire to anything greater? And I said, no, ma'am. And the checker was like almost laughing out loud, and he was having a hard time controlling himself. But I checked her out, took her bags out to the car, and she tried to tip me. And I said, no, the guys in the store take pretty good care of me. But she promised me that, every day when I shaved, I should look in the mirror and think what I might become. And so I do that every day.
Thank you, Mrs. Schwartz. Once again, we ask,
do you have a favorite Trader Joe's product?
Ooh, I love your dark chocolate peanut butter cups. Those are always a go-to.
The grass-fed buffalo burgers, I love those.
The roasted chicken, love that. They have a cauliflower in the frozen section. Oh, love the tomato soup.
Have you tried the tomato soup crackers?
No.
They're called creamy tomato soup crackers. And it's like kind of having a bowl of tomato soup, but in a cracker.
My name is Chris Condit, and I work with the wine here. Was that really your question? Let's see. I am the category manager for wine for the company known as Trader Joe's.
We sell a lot of wine, and for a lot of people, Trader Joe's is synonymous with wine. It's that place that's always had wine. And historically, wine has played an incredibly important part in our business, a real difference-making part of the store.
I'm going to give you the secret to Trader Joe's here. So far, they've all tasted like Tang, but not the good version, if there is one. One thing that we do that sets us apart is we have a tasting panel. There's a lot of wine out there. There really are hundreds of thousands of wines available in the market. We carry about 500 in our stores. So we're tasting every day, literally every day. It's got the color, the acid.
It's a little more savory than fruity.
It's pretty good, though. You're going to tell me. It's Russian River. So it'd be Trader Joe's 2016 Russian River Petit Syrah. Everybody had a chance to try it, think about it? Who'd like to see that come in? Excellent. And lastly, the source of the wine for our various private label and control label programs might change over time, but the wines are always going to be great because we get to pick and choose. We don't have to carry every wine. We don't have to always repeat that exact same thing every year. If it's not good, we don't think it's great value, we don't love the wine, we don't buy it. There's a lot of people that sort of famously make a fortune in other businesses and then they love wine, so I'm going to open a winery, right? It's kind of like buying a boat, you just throw money at that hole in the water. And they make their wine, they open their little winery and they grow some grapes, and then they wait for the customers to show up. Customers don't always show up, or the customers already buy XYZ, and they weren't just waiting around for this wine to appear before they would start drinking wine or buying wine. They need to clear out those tanks. They need to sell the wine at some point. No matter how wealthy the person is, it's always a bad business practice to not sell what you make. So in those situations, we're oftentimes willing to help them at a lovely price for our customers. And so those, we call them hustle buys. Those wines come out in our stores at tremendous prices, and people are just like, that's ridiculous. How do you do that? And we sell through it quickly, and then we're on to the next one.
What do you hear from customers?
Our customers oftentimes have a crew member that they learn to trust. Like, I like what Sue likes. Is Sue here today? Because I'm looking for a recommendation for whatever. And every time Sue recommends that, I love it. Or, I'm with Bill. Is Bill around? Because Bill's taste buds totally match my taste buds.
So you have a long history at Trader Joe's. Is there anything about how the Trader Joe's wine business works now that's new or changing? Or
when I first started almost 30 years ago, it was this blend, that blend, so-and-so's wine. And then the fighting varietal thing happened, and people were like, oh, I don't want this blend. I really just like the Merlot or the Cabernet or the Chardonnay. And it became all about varietal wines. And that really took over 25 plus years ago. And it's kind of stayed that way. But what's happened is some varietals have grown in favor, and some have completely fallen off the map. Merlot is one of the great, easy drinking, most approachable varietal wines there is, and people hate Merlot. They just hate it. I don't want Merlot. Merlot's dead to me.
You sound like a jerk if you order Merlot,
yeah,
right?
If you order Merlot, you don't know what you're doing. You're a complete loser.
Yeah.
People still love Merlot. The Merlot didn't just all of a sudden stop growing or something. It didn't go away. They just relabel it all as red blends.
I mean, can we really trace it all back to that movie? Is it that one film's fault, really?
It seems that that's where it began, that's when people decided, oh, it's not cool to like Merlot anymore.
Well, Paul Giamatti. So what's funny, Sideways is the movie, and he's the one that slammed Merlot, which is fine. It was actually a great movie. The little-known fact is at the end of the movie, he's drinking a Bordeaux in that burger joint, right? That was a Merlot-based Bordeaux that he's drinking. So his favorite, most prized wine was a Merlot. Anyway, life imitating art.
So now you've met Chris Condit. I'd like to introduce you to Pat Andrus.
I started in the company in 1969. I was 17. And when I was 25, I became a captain of the store. And here I am at 65. I've got this job that I wanted all my life.
Pat's got a great job. He rides around places like the Napa Valley looking for great wines to bring to Trader Joe's.
Well, the basic job today is sourcing wine that'll fit into one of our programs, the highest quality juice that I can possibly find at great prices.
This is my new baby. So this
is Napa Valley Chardonnay?
Yeah.
I'd be interested in this.
Yeah, this is.
You haven't sold this yet, have you?
I haven't sold this.
Oh, darn. Are you telling me this is $6.99?
No, I'm not. I promise you it's
I heard that. This is the best $3.99 wine I've ever had.
You're listening to a 5-part series that takes you inside Trader Joe's. Now, if you like Trader Joe's and you even liked this podcast, rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever it is you found this.
Oh, we'd like that. And here's what's on the next Inside Trader Joe's.
Chicago's very situated, especially Chicago proper, by neighborhoods. So we do our best to make the stores a reflection of the neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, you might see an end cap of prune juice in the Florida market before you're going to see that in the Chicago market.
The folks that come here, they're us. They are working, they are retired, they have grandkids, they have aunts, uncles, they have baby brothers and sisters, they have dogs and cats. They're just like all of us. They just happen to need some assistance.
I think our stores probably are all in the range of sharing from $600,000, $700,000 a year to over $1 million with their local communities.
This place is a blessing to my home.
We started this podcast with the goal of answering some of the questions we often hear about Trader Joe's.
I love you, but what's with the parking lot? People will ask all the time, when do I get a Trader Joe's in my town? And I said, isn't your town like 2 miles from a Trader Joe's? No, that's not, it's not close enough. We need our own.
God, there've been a number of surprises.
That we thought would work, that didn't.
Yeah. We used to have an eggplant wrap, the fresh one, and I would eat that constantly, and when I went away, I was pretty sad.
I was really into that almond jalapeno dip.
We're targeting to open 30 to 35 stores a year.
We could have 1,000 stores, but what's most important to us is that we have 1,000 Trader Joe's stores.
That's on the next Inside Trader Joe's.